Imagine the croc that could take down one of these. A fully grown carabao weighs almost 500 kilos. Losing an animal like this is like losing a tractor.
They're our livelihood. We use them to plow the fields and to haul logs. It was a huge loss for me because it was the only carabao I had.
The monster dragged the massive carabao downstream, but got stuck under the bridge, so Javar got a good look at the culprit.
So why couldn't the croc pull the carabao under the bridge?
The water level was too high, so the legs of the bridge were blocking it.
And how many crocodiles were there?
Two.
Two? Were they different sizes?
Yes, a big one and a smaller one.
Then he drops a bombshell. The smaller one was Lolong. Oh, no! 60 people work all night to drag the beast 1.5 kilometers back to the village. It's over a ton of muscle, power, and killer instinct. As word spreads that they've caught the killer, more and more jubilant onlookers flock to the creek. Everyone wants to get close to the enormous animal now that he's tied down. There's plenty of fight left in the croc. For a moment, everyone's heart stands still. The ropes only just hold. But the hard part is yet to come. They have to transport the enormous reptile 11 kilometers to a purpose-built tourist park at Consuelo, near the main road. The problem is, the road to the park is on the other side of the creek. And the only bridge is far too rickety and narrow. They have to transfer the killer crocodile to a makeshift pontoon and float him across. Finally, after they struggle for 24 hours, victory. The party goes on deep into the night. Morning finds the monster the star attraction at the Echo Park. Its pond was initially going to be a swimming pool for children. It's clearly a male. He weighs more than 1,040 kilos. Female salties rarely exceed 160 kilos and grow no more than 4 meters. This guy looks to be over 6. They call him Lolong. Lolong could get them into the Guinness Book of Records. They finally get a good look at him, but the villagers have second thoughts about whether this is the killer croc.
That's not the right one, is it?
No, it's too small.
In the cold light of day, they say that no matter how big he is, he's just too small to be the killer. Roy Dagas, who was with Rowena when she died, is certain that this is not the croc he saw that night. It's too late to prove Lolong killed Rowena 2 years ago. But Daniel Oxtero has only been missing a few months. Could his remains still be inside Lolong's stomach? Crocodiles swallow large chunks of prey, bones and all, without chewing. They have the strongest stomach acid of any animal. Flesh will be dissolved in days, bones in a matter of weeks. But they can't digest anything made of keratin. So horns or human hair and fingernails can remain inside the croc for months. It's a long shot, but the people are desperate for answers. They can't slice him open. The next best thing is to pump his stomach. As soon as news of the capture breaks, Ronnie rushes back to the village to look for proof. He inserts a length of plastic tube down the croc's gullet. Then he pours bucket after bucket of water into him until the croc vomits violently. Ronnie doesn't find any human remains. The stomach pumping is inconclusive. It's possible they didn't get everything out, or that Lolong had coughed up a hairball before they caught him. It's also possible that another giant crocodile killed Daniel, and that it's still out there. Life is returning to normal on the island of Mindanao, but it's not safe to go back in the water. Giant crocodile sightings continue even after the capture of the monster croc Lolong. Ronnie Sumiller is called back for duty.
I am going back to capture the big crocodile, bigger than Lolong, because the villagers are endangered.
Lolong could have taken to the creeks because a more aggressive male chased him out of the lake. It's a frightening prospect. The first place to look is Lake Mihaba in the heart of the marsh. Agusan's crocs are notoriously shy, so the best chance of finding it is at night.
We are going to Lake Mihaba to spotlight and hopefully to see large crocodiles.
With a local guide, he ventures into the crocodile's world at the most dangerous time. Every attack so far has occurred at night.
It's dangerous to do this in this lake because of the presence of the large crocodile. But using flashlight, normally they will not attack.
They're not alone. There are hundreds of crocodiles all around them. One of them could be the giant killer.
In this lake, it could be 2 or 3 large crocodiles. Could be as large as Lolong, maybe 20 feet.
They see lots of smaller crocs. Ronnie spots a likely suspect. Or it could just be the light playing tricks.
This is the area where Rowena was attacked by the crocodile. So the boat was capsized.
They don't want to be the next victims, so Ronnie calls it a night. Then he gets another break in the case. Near Nueva Era, he hears of a rare sighting of a giant crocodile in broad daylight. He misses it by only hours.
Hello.
Hello. Did you see a crocodile over here?
Yes, at about 11 o'clock.
So, this is where its head was positioned?
Yes, with its shoulders over here.
How big do you estimate its head was?
It was huge, and he had his mouth open like this.
With a stick, Ronnie measures where the head was, so he can estimate the croc's total length.
I've never seen a crocodile like this. He is almost 40 feet, I should say. It's really a huge crocodile.
Even for a skeptic, it's scary to imagine the croc that hauled out here. Then Ronnie discovers that this is not the first time that someone has reported a 12-meter croc around Nueva Era. A few months ago, Javar Abdul saw a colossal crocodile take down his prize water buffalo, or carabao. Imagine the croc that could take down one of these. A fully grown carabao weighs almost 500 kilos. Losing an animal like this is like losing a tractor.
They're our livelihood. We use them to plow the fields and to haul logs. It was a huge loss for me because it was the only carabao I had.
The monster dragged the massive carabao downstream, but got stuck under the bridge, so Javar got a good look at the culprit.
So why couldn't the croc pull the carabao under the bridge?
The water level was too high, so the legs of the bridge were blocking it.
And how many crocodiles were there?
2.
2? Were they different sizes?
Yes, a big one and a smaller one.
Then he drops a bombshell. The smaller one was Lolong.
How big do you estimate the big one was?
I estimate more or less from that point over there to the far side of the bridge.
Okay, let's measure that.
Instead of one giant croc chasing another out of Lake Mihaba, it seems 2 giant crocs were feeding together. And the second one was even bigger than Lolong.
Wow! 12 meters, ang taas. Oh, dako gyud nga buhaya kay 12 meters man.
Ronnie now has 2 sightings of a croc even larger than Lolong, the one they captured, and no incriminating material in Lolong's stomach. So another croc could be responsible.